Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right. So, we're going to get into a collective message here in just a moment, but I do want to make one announcement before we do that. You guys, thank you for being the most incredible collective. I feel so lucky to know all of you. Thank you guys for making my channel what it is. Every year I historically have always done something to say thank you throughout the holiday season. And I think more than ever, we need to do some more fun stuff. I think the world needs it. I think we need it. So here is what I am going to do once a week on both channels, this channel and Tarot Dog, my other channel. I am going to go live at a random time for probably half hour, 40 minutes, whatever I can manage. And I'm going to do fictional storytellings for my subscribers and members. So just know we'll do that once a week on both channels. Like I said, probably about a half hour on each channel. It'll always be at random. I'm not going to set a certain time. I'm not going to give, pre-warnings or anything like that. I want it to be as random as possible so that, everyone has a fair chance. It'll probably be different times, sometimes late, sometimes morning, sometimes midday, whenever I can squeeze it in. But it'll be once a week on each channel. So don't worry if it's like, well, I can never catch lives no matter what time they are. Please remember that I brought back something we used to do, which is on my Today's Topic videos, the series that I put out every single day that has a date associated. I'm leaving comments on. You guys can enter there. And each Monday, when I post whatever the video that today's topic is that I record on Monday, I go through before I do that and I randomly select a winner out of the comments. So that means you never have to be live to watch those videos in order to possibly win. I just try to keep things as balanced as I can because I know life is hard and I know it's really hard to manage to watch lives and such. But I wanted to make sure everybody gets a shot no matter what. Also, members, don't forget, today is Members Day. I will see you guys in the Members Corner later on this afternoon, evening. And members know this doesn't change anything. We still do the 2-hour every month members only corner where we do storytellings. No, for this new weekly thing that I'll be doing for this next 2 months, I'll do it all the way up until the beginning of January, where once a week I'll go live on each channel and do some card pulls. Just know that I will probably do a special little highlight for members in those videos as well. So there you have it. All right, guys. Great to see everybody. D, SLH, MJ. Hi, babe. Moon Pony, Patricia Bocator. Great to catch you. All right, guys. So that is the announcement I wanted to make. And again, from my heart to yours, thank you guys so much for being a part of my world and my channel. Really appreciate you guys. So what's our story? We are starting out with a collective message. So it's not zodiac specific, though we'll call them out when we see them. And this is a bit bumpy. We do have the 7 of Swords, followed by the 6 of Cups. We either have a liar, pants on fire, who is, I always think of this as my spying card. Okay. So we do have somebody that's paying close attention. This is somebody who's maybe pretending like, I don't want to come back to this relationship. Really? Then why you watching? Why you watching? What's going on that you say you don't care? I don't care. 9 of Swords and the Emperor. This is somebody who keeps checking up to see, are they with somebody? Are they with somebody? And I'm going to say, is she with somebody? And I say that because we've got this lioness, and I think this person, whomever this character is, the 7 of Swords, 9 of Swords person, they could be an air sign, first off. So it could be a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, that is spying on this lioness, wondering, does she have a partner? Does she have a man? Does she have somebody that she's with? What's going on there? So this is upsetting, we'll say, for them, to put it mildly. This is upsetting for them because they are losing sleep over it now. They're spending a lot of their downtime spying on her. We have a 2 of Swords. They feel either blocked out of her life to a certain extent, like I can't even find out the information that I'd like to, or they are still wondering, is there a chance? Hell, maybe she's dating more than one person. What's going on? I can't seem to get access. I can't seem to find out. But she's my soulmate. She's somebody I still want to talk to, but I feel blocked. Maybe they blew it with her twice as well. Now, the thing is, the keys are on the outside here. So if they wanted to make nice, if they wanted to fix something with her, this actually says that they could. If they're not doing that, that might be because that's them not doing what they're supposed to. Hey, guys, so good to see you. Oh, P.S., guys, don't forget, I will be getting to the last 4 zodiacs. Delinda, I saw you and I was like, Ophiuchus. We've got Ophiuchus coming up after this, as well as Aries. I've got Scorpio and somebody else that I haven't gotten to yet. It'll come back to me. Anyway, we'll get those zodiacs done today as well in this first part of the day. Okay. I love Mondays. Mondays are like, sometimes they're wild and woolly, and then once in a while it actually becomes a day off and I can actually just really enjoy being here. And today is one of those days where I'm like, oh, I actually get a day off. So I get to hang out with you guys more. We've got the Temperance card though. This person, this character, they could make things right. They could. But I don't see them doing it. Maybe they botched it and blew it twice. Maybe they're saying, like, I would like to do it different this time, but I don't see them making much change if they're still hiding out, lying, pretending. I mean, they could even be watching under like a false identity, false name, something that isn't really them. You know, when we get the Seven of Swords and we got the, leopard stalking through the trees, that's how leopards move, apparently. At least today, that's how they move. But this feels like maybe we have them genuinely wishing that they could do things different, but they're just losing their freaking mind over this idea of what if she's already with somebody? What if she's with somebody? And for some reason, I think that this person wonders, what if she's back with one of her exes? Did she marry her ex? Is she happily ever aftering with someone that she knew even before me? Because, and I'm only suggesting this because of the soulmate. It's like they know that she had some kind of connection to an ex, or they knew. I mean, look, we're all adults, right? We all have exes. If you've been on this planet, any length of time, chances are you dated at least one person that it didn't work out with, and maybe one person that it did, at bare minimum. I mean, some people are really lucky and they find their happily ever after and it's one and done. Of course that could happen, but I do think that's maybe more rare. I don't know, maybe it's not as rare as I think. I'll have to put out a poll and ask you guys, what do you think is more common, or what have you experienced? One and done, or do we all have exes? But it feels like they're kind of obsessed over the concept of, is she with somebody who could be her ex? Because I'm obviously one of her exes and I wish I could get back with her, and I feel blocked, and maybe I already botched it a couple times and I'd like to do it different. Oh my God, this person is like obsessing. We've got the Hermit's journey here. The more they're away from her, the more they're focusing on how good they were with her. The more it's like, so they could be a Virgo, by the way, they could be a Sag as well. But, now that we're getting some major arcana, I don't know exactly who to call them just yet, but we have them in deep contemplation. And the more they go through this deep contemplation, which is filling them with both fear and nervousness that she's happily ever after with an ex, the more they're convinced she and I were supposed to be together. We're so right for each other. We're so right to be together. Okay. King of Pentacles. And man, I would pick up everything and I would go be with her if I could. Okay, so we can call them the King of Pentacles now. I'm not going to say that they have to be an earth sign of Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus, but rather they want to be grounded. Like now they'd give anything to just not play any games. I don't know if they played games before, but obviously something didn't work out in the past. But they'd give anything to be able to just bring their stuff, come on home, plant themselves right there. I wouldn't like let her get away. I would make a move. I'd make sure that she knew I wanted to be with her. I keep saying her, but let's see. Actually, before we go over to the character that they're obsessing over, can I ask you one last thing? Why do you think you're the one who's in the tree hiding out, spying on her instead of with her? We have a Seven of Swords again. Okay, so to clarify the Seven of Swords, we literally just got the Seven of Swords. I lied. I walked away. I said I could just let it go. And it wasn't ever true. I acted like it's over. But why were things ever even supposedly over when you clearly never wanted it to be over? Did you bluff? Did you think she was going to call you back? The World, the Page of Swords, the King of Wands in the reverse. Okay, so somebody played stupid games. This is somebody who's very egotistical, right? That King of Wands in the reverse is, this is very ego based. I don't know if they walked away from her, said things were over because they thought, and I know this sounds really weird, but it would be like some weird reset button. And then it's like, well, I don't either want to say sorry for problems that we've had. So instead, I'll break up with her, but then we'll get back together, and it'll be just like we can sweep stuff under the rug, and we'll just have a redo. Or if it was a little, the reason I'm going with a calculating message is because this is the Page of Swords. So again, we go to spying. This is very egotistical, and somebody's stuck in a karmic loop where they kind of probably make the same selfish mistake again and again without realizing that that's probably not the best way to handle stuff. Hey, she's throwing shade. We all do things sometimes that are like, wow, that was not my highest vibration. But here it's something about wanting a reset button. I don't know if they wanted to change the dialogue, if they wanted her to stop thinking or talking about like marriage, or if they wanted to have some reset buttons. They like literally broke it off with her and then thought she'll come back to me in a different way and she'll stop talking about something. I don't know if this person used like manipulation tactics to get things to go the way they wanted to. Something about wanting a reset button. But it was also like, I'm sorry that I don't have a nice way to say this. It's like this person wanted to figure out how she operates so that they can like create the scenario that they want, kind of. I don't know. This is something about trying to understand how she does things. Which, why not just get to know somebody and talk to them directly? Why do this like, I'm going to break up and then we'll see what happens? I don't think they ever imagined that this would be the end of the story, because they never wanted it to be the end of the story, but it is. There was some talk of marriage that was one of the major issues here. And I keep feeling like they wanted her to like not expect the relationship to like evolve. And they thought, okay, if we break up and then get back together, obviously then it'll be like we have to start over from scratch. I mean, that's a really weird way to think about things, but there's something that I can't quite put my finger on, because maybe it's just because my brain doesn't work that way. I don't love it. But when we have a character that is in, a king in the reverse, and especially that particular king in the reverse, yeah, very selfish. So there were a lot of problems. Maybe this union was like taboo or something. And they were like, I'm not ready to tell the world about us. I'm not ready to tell the family about us. This could be two people from different parts of the world. And it's like, I don't know how a marriage would work between us, but like, I want to be with her. I don't want to break up with her, but I'm going to, because maybe that's even like, maybe it was to like hide the connection so that they had deniability about like, and now I'm not going to have to tell my parents. My parents think I broke up with her because this was really messy. I was getting a lot of flack or something. So we'll break up and then we'll start seeing each other again later, but kind of on the down low. Look, I don't like any of this. This is really starting to, Sassy Kate, I can hear her revving up her motorcycle in the background. By the way, if you're new to my channel, I always laugh at myself and say that I have this alter ego called Sassy Kate instead of regular Kate, who comes in and busts up the video when I get irritated with the character, if I think that they're not treating another character well. And then I come in and I say something more rude and blunt instead of the, I try to tell a balanced story. And then sometimes I'm like, blah, I can't take it. This is some BS. And I feel like this is some BS. And so, yeah, off in the distance, my alter ego is revving up their motorcycle. It comes blasting on in, making a ruckus, and start talking sassy. Nine of Pentacles, Ace of Wands. I'm not going to change any of this because we are reading it from a karmic viewpoint. They definitely didn't know how to handle external problems. They wanted external problems to go away, but they still wanted her. But they also wanted to kind of like have everything go in their favor where they feel amazing. If she was irritated with them, and maybe that's all this was. If she was irritated with them, they weren't moving things forward. They're like, I'm not ready to talk about marriage, so I'm going to break up with her for a little bit, but I still want to be with her. But I don't want to talk about marriage and serious stuff until I feel better about myself. And I'm damn sure not going to tell her that that's my hang up, is like, I don't feel financially stable enough right now to be talking about bigger commitment. It was all ego based. So it may be a little bit less, distasteful than what I was just worried about. I'm slowly turning off the key on my motorcycle right now. um, this could have been, I mean, still ego based, but maybe it's that they didn't want to talk about a relationship getting more serious when their external world was still pretty messy and they wanted to buy themselves time. I don't want to talk about long-term relationship and marriage. So I'm going to break up with her for a little bit, even though I still want her. I still want to be with her. When I feel more empowered, then we can start like letting the relationship go toward, let's talk about marriage again. That's what I feel like. They broke up with her, not because they didn't want to marry her, but because they didn't want to admit that I feel insecure right now, or there's something wrong with my finances. I don't see how I can be in a really serious relationship that could go to marriage, but I don't want to tell you that. So I'd rather break it off with you. Again, that's super hurtful and super immature is the way I would look at that. But that is what the karmic energy would be about. Bad decision, because it was always based on a lie. They never wanted her not in their life. And now their big fear is, oh my God, did she get back with an ex and maybe even marry them? Is there an emperor in her life? Okay, let's talk about her for a minute now. Here we go. We've got the Page of Wands upright. Page of Wands is, she's over here saying I was either breadcrumbs, Eight of Pentacles, Strength card in the reverse. Strong Leo here. She's like, oh, I was so breadcrumb. This person was really freaked out. They were pretty scared. They were scared of things moving forward. Obviously, we had a relationship that was moving forward, and they definitely freaked out on me. Okay, so she's kind of like, yeah, that's what they did. We don't have a difference of opinion on her side. Like everything we've just described, if they thought that this running away thing was gonna like hide the fact that they had this fear, she like totally clocked it. Again, Ace of Wands, we have the Page of Coins. They wanted me in a big way, but I expected to build a foundation from the ground up. She might have been very, very, very attracted to them as well, of course, but wanting to build something more than just hot-blooded passion. You know what I'm wondering? Is this one of those stories where they had more time like in the bedroom than they did doing just the regular stuff that makes up our day-to-day life when we start to build a life with somebody? You know, hey, babe, let's go grocery shopping. Let's do the things that we have to do. Let's talk about the mundane. Let's just spend time getting to know each other from the ground up. Let's build a friendship. Let's, it feels like this might have been one of those relationships where they were trying to keep it more in the physical plane than talk about like building and creating something that will obviously go toward marriage. It almost feels like these two got to the topic of marriage and they really didn't want to get there. They didn't want to have that dialogue, or this is a relationship that already started out like this is going to be really something that we needed to right out of the gate. This is going to be super serious. We had a timeline jump. Okay, plain and simple. She's like, I should never have thought of them as a potential, like, let's get serious. They weren't showing me serious signs. They're breadcrumbing. They only want to do passion. I mean, I want to do passion too, but they're only doing breadcrumbs and passion, desire. Then why was I even thinking about them as potential? Obviously this is going to be serious. They're not giving me any signals that they're anything at all that I should consider as serious. Meaning and please remember, this could be same-sex couple, reverse gender roles. The only reason I keep saying she is because we had a lioness there. And then when we had the strength card again, we have, a feminine again. It feels like if she were just being discerning, she would have asked herself, like, wait a minute, do I see this person as marriage material? Right now they're breadcrumbing. Right now they're super passionate about me, but I can also sense the fear in them. So is that who I pick as a marriage partner? Do I even put them in the category of like, oh yeah, pretty soon we're locking this thing down? Probably not. Did she think of it that way then? Did she already say, I don't see this going anywhere? Did they get it all wrong that she's like, hey, you're not, no, we have the Hierophant. She still said, but I feel like this person is one that I would end up with. It doesn't look like it now. There's no evidence of that, but marriage is what I want. I see the potential with them, even if I'm not getting any of the things from them that would actually drive me towards saying, oh, they'll make a great marriage partner. Here's the thing. This story, it doesn't say that she just randomly decided this, oh, they're going to be my marriage partner. It says she actually believed that, even though she's not getting what she wants from them. She's out in the cold and still saying, but I want them to be my marriage partner. Now, maybe we can look at it as that's the reason she finally said, this is not going to work. Maybe this is what prompted her to have the dialogue about marriage and say, you know what, this whole situation that I've got cooking with you, it's passionate and stuff, but it feels like we're not getting beyond that and building anything. And see, I looked at you as somebody that I had hopes of like long-term with, but I'm always out in the cold with you. Maybe that's what this is. If this is all you're offering me, then I think it's not going to work, because I'm trying to date for long-term. And honestly, I like you enough to think about that, but I don't see you like providing me with anything that says you think about me in the same way. That could have been more of what the conversation was. And that could be why she's sitting here with the scythe. And that's also why they broke it off with her, because it's like, she's not wrong. I really want her, but I also want to, maybe this person wants her, but also wants to be single. Maybe this is like the trials and tribulations of life. Whatever I deal with, I want to keep that separate. It almost feels like they're blowing a chance at love because they don't want to like be vulnerable in any way, shape, or form. So the topic, which, should have probably made somebody really happy, like, wow, she sees me as somebody she would want to build something with. There's not even anything for me to be nervous about. She's saying she would love it if we got more serious because she sees this incredible value in me. But on the other hand, if I'm not wanting to do this with her, then she's understanding of that as well. It almost feels like she just took any fear out of it they might have had about whether or not she saw them as somebody really valuable in her world, or the potential of really valuable. But instead they were like, oh, I'll break it off with her. I don't want to. I want to have a reset button though. I want to do this all over again with her. I want to prolong this ability to have passion with her without talking about a relationship getting more serious. So let me just go back over and say, if you weren't ready for anything serious, why are you? I mean, obviously the two of you are separated. Obviously you never actually intended to not be with her, but you also didn't intend to, I guess, step up until you were either damn good and ready, or you weren't able to like give any kind of more significant offer. But now you're petrified that she's living a good life with somebody else and could be married to somebody else, or went back to one of her exes or something. Like, I don't understand that moment, because to me it's like you either want somebody and you want to build with them and you're honest about that, or you don't and you want to stay single and move on. 9 of Pentacles. Everything here says I want to think of her as single. Abundant, sure, but I want to think of her as single and abundant. King of Pentacles. We saw him as a King of Pentacles already. I don't know if this is a simple, like, I needed to get more stable so I could kind of outdo her with what I had to offer. Maybe they felt like they were at a lesser position at one point when they first were dating her, and they were like, I can't talk about a serious connection unless I am a King of Pentacles. And then I want to date her, so I want her to be single when I'm ready to feel like a King of Pentacles. Remember, they were that King of Wands in the reverse. This still feels like somebody who was more willing to let her go. And maybe they didn't have the money to offer more. Maybe they didn't have the money to date her the way they wish they could have. But instead of just saying that and saying, no, I definitely want to be with you. I have a lot of external problems right now. I have a lot of money problems. Maybe there's distance involved. Maybe it's hard to travel to see each other. There could be so many things that were a problem, but he wouldn't say it. So no reassurance that I want to be with you. Instead, break it off. Let her think I'm not interested in that. She's talking about something like, hey, I was hoping for something serious, but we're not really getting beyond the passion and starting to build something more. So I guess this isn't going to be more. And he's like, okay, peace out. All of this, when you cloak stuff in lies, and we have the lie card twice, and we got that ego card once, and now we're seeing he's hoping so much that she's single. At least maybe he's stable now, or maybe he's still saying, when I'm stable, I really want to think that she's single. High Priestess, Queen of Swords, Five of Pentacles. He also wants to think that there's always some like connection where it's like, but I know she can still feel my energy and she's out there waiting for me just like I'm still wanting to be with her. Why would she feel that way when you lied and didn't tell her anything about what was really going on? You lied at least twice, broke it off with her, and have been hiding, spying on her. Why would she think that you're like obviously still energetically connected to me and I know you're the only one for me? You know what's crazy though, to a certain extent in this storyline, she did feel like, I don't know what their deal was, but they were kind of petrified of relationship stuff, anything other than passion. But I was tired of getting, feeling like I was out in the cold. She did know that they wanted her, despite their best effort to hide that. That's the part that I can't wrap my head around in this. Why would you pretend that it's okay to just break things off because your ego is that big? And what do you think was going to happen? Instead of just telling her, I want more also, but I'm kind of got a messy life. I don't have money right now. I can't date you the way I'd like to. It's embarrassing for me, blah, blah, blah. Why not say those things and be real instead of acting like, yeah, cool, peace out. And then you're petrified that she's going to go get with somebody else who can offer her things or who's at least going to be honest or something. I don't know. This keeps feeling like the game plan here was, I just want to think of her single until I can be the one to offer something. But why not offer the truth? I don't know. To me, that's I'm having a hard time with this one. Okay, let's go to the universe then and cut to the chase. Universe, is there a chance for these two? Because I don't get where they're at right now. We have the Hermit in the reverse. We have the Knight of Swords in the reverse. It says, yeah, if they quit thinking about all this and instead come forward and say it. But this says it's not going to happen anytime soon. Okay, so what is the most likely outcome at this moment in time? What is the most likely outcome for her? Sideways card. Knight of Cups sideways. She's probably going to be open to somebody else who asks her out, be open to dating someone else. Death card. This kind of feels like last call for her. This feels like if somebody else approaches her before they ever break their silence, she will likely end up in the arms of somebody else and her life will take a totally different trajectory. Okay, then what is the most likely outcome for him at this point? Hi, guys. The Tower. He will have that ego collapse, which, I mean, in this case, I think like hallelujah for that. But he looks pretty bummed on that card. King of Swords. There we go again. We always get a King of Swords. Please bear in mind, I don't think it's the same character. I think it's the like place of evolution is, like my characters, I don't care about what zodiac they are. I care about like the energy that each card carries to describe where they're at. What are they expressing? Not that they have to be a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, or an Aries, but rather what energy are they expressing right now? And this is a more thoughtful energy, right? That, the swords are air and it's our thoughts and the words that we speak. So he would perhaps, the most likely outcome is that eventually anyway, the ego will collapse, but it could come, as a lightning bolt. And all of a sudden it's that epiphany of, I suddenly just matured. I wasted this connection. I wasted my chance with somebody I actually wanted to be with because my damn ego. I just couldn't tell her, I want you. I just feel embarrassed because my life's not together. So instead I broke it off with you, acted like I didn't want you because my ego was more important. And then I've been stressing all night, every night, wondering if you're with somebody else because I still wanted you, but I couldn't tell you. Like, that's stupid, and he looks older all of a sudden. And I would say that comes with, it's more the visual depiction of wisdom. that was a really stupid, egotistical thing to do. I just blew a connection with somebody that I care about. And this is him saying it, because once we have the wisdom, sometimes that's where it's like, well, I can't keep my mouth shut anymore. I had this epiphany. I feel like a damn fool for having ego like a freaking tower that kept my, the tower card is like, it's where we get locked. We're stuck inside the tower. We're stuck with these words that stay in our chests instead of, spilling out of our lips. And I just feel like the way things are going right now, oh, he's still headed for that moment where he'll be able to say all this, where the ego will drop. It's just that right now, it appears that the way things are, she's real close to meeting somebody else. She's open to it even if things continue. If they stay in silence, this is the most likely outcome for this story. So let me ask one last question then. We need a good deck since this is the final countdown. Let's go this one. All right, what are you going to do? Hey, Anishta. We got the 2 of Wands to the 3 of Wands. What are you going to do? I'm debating, but I do know that in the upcoming future, I'm going to say something. That tells me nothing about, is it going to be too late to try to salvage this? To me, I kind of think that they're not ending up together. I feel like the fact that they're still debating and there's still too much in the ego, at least as we close this storyline, I see them not being able to hold on to this connection. To me, this looks like it's just too much time spent spying, not enough, acceleration of what the heck am I doing? And maybe these two aren't supposed to end up together. I mean, they could. There's nothing to say one way or the other. It just says that he's debating so heavily, saying something, but it's still going to be down the road. And I think that those delays are going to cost him this connection, because she seems to be pretty done with this. And I guess maybe, should we ask one last question? Is that the better route for this to go? That this connection doesn't come back together? 5 of Pentacles. Anytime I ask a question like that, I kind of always get this well, it depends on what the characters want to do, which is always true, right? 5 of Pentacles is a card of change. Is it supposed to end this way? No. But if a character sits here and, they let their ego get in the way and it costs them the relationship, and they have to be bummed out about that because they just won't listen to the guides. They won't listen to their higher self. They won't listen. It's a lesson they're going to get anyway, but it's going to be after they've missed their shot. But sometimes those are the most useful lessons. Does it have to go this way? Is it supposed to? No, it's not supposed to. All the help is here. All the messages are there. They know what they want. They know that they're freaking miserable right now. There is no reason for this person to miss out on this relationship with her. But because they're saying, I don't want to hear what my guides are telling me, then that's probably the way it'll go. That's just because that's who they are. That's what's going on. They don't have to do it that way. They could change at any moment and still have a shot at this, salvage this, but they are fast running out of daylight. And in this storyline, everything says they're going to just let it run out, even though it's frustrating because there's no reason for it to go that way. It does not need to go that way. But characters, they make their choices, and it doesn't mean life doesn't go on. They'll undoubtedly, continue living. They'll meet other people. She obviously is going to end up with somebody else. It never has to end in heartbreak. It's just characters have to be aware that their choices are what defines what happens and what the outcome is. So, all right, I'm going to leave this one here. You guys, thank you so much. Amita Bano, you're so sweet. So good to see you. Oh, Tanya, that's awesome. I'm glad you like this one. This was for Halloween. It's actually way prettier. If I can move out of the way, there's this, there's a whole pool here, and it's, like a reflection pool in this Egyptian temple. And I just love this backdrop so much that I just had to use it one more day as I finish out the last round of zodiacs. I really liked this one. I love the Egyptian temple aspect, just as the adventure backdrop for Halloween that I had up. And so I couldn't let go of it just for one more day. Hey, Feast Mystic Faith. Happy Monday, babe. Yeah, Feast Mystic Faith in the today's topic that I will post later on today. I do a Monday winner. And although you are not the Monday winner, I was still going to do a little 3-card pull for you because I know that I can't remember who it was right now, but when I was live on Halloween, it was requested by somebody. God, I can't think of who it was right now. That I do a little card pull for you, and I had to leave, and Monday is the day that I do, like little extra things. And so if I have permission, if you give me the okay, I'm going to do a little 3-card pull for you in that today's topic video that I'll post later today. Okay. Awesome. Awesome, babe. So watch for that. It'll be time-stamped for you. Okay. AC. Hey, babe. I love it. Come on, universe. Don't disappoint. Give our girl a new hottie. So great to see you, Nisha Chateau. Wonder T. Hi, babe. Addison. Hi. Wonder T, thank you, sweetie pie. Thank you guys so much for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. That means the world for me. Thank you so much. It really does help the channel like you would not believe. It's kind of like that's one of the most like valuable like algorithmic things to help the channel actually circulate, and comments are as well. I just don't keep all comments on because it's so hard for me to keep it safe for everybody, and there have been lots of problems in the past, so I only do it on specific videos, just because I would rather keep you guys safe than, I guess, boost other things. So that's a reason I do it that way. But thank you guys so much. Nora A, hi babe. GOSC 10P, hi honey. San Juanita, hi Kelly. You're so sweet. Thanks, babe. Wonder T. Yeah, this was the Halloween backdrop. It's the Egyptian backdrop. Part of me really wants to hang on to this another day and do a little Egyptian pantheon inspired story, but I might shift gears because I also have another backdrop I'd like to shift to, and I try to change it weekly. But hi, Portia Hall, Jeannie Vale, Delinda. Thanks again, babe. AC, I hear you. Hey, Rahita Beauty. Hetty, how are you, sweetie? You guys are so lovely, so nice, and so gracious with each other as well. AC, you're like, I feel like you host the dinner parties with me. You're always just so gracious to everybody, AC. Hi, G. Hi, Robin. Queen of Swords, awesome to see you. Feral Rust, always a delight, honey. Members, just know I will get to members videos later on this afternoon and evening, okay? Just FYI. We'll do our members corner a little bit later. Hi, Lalu. Oh, Patricia, are you not feeling well, honey? I'm backtracking right now, so I'm seeing, oh, you're in bed. I'm so sorry. Feel better, honey. The classic slasher. I am delighted you're here, honey. Hi, Naomi Torres. Wonderful to see you. And again, Moon Pony, D. Rogers, SLH, NJ Gutierrez. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. All right, I'm going to get to those other zodiacs now. Hey, Ken Ramey. Renee, right back at you, babe. Hi, Annie S. I'm so glad you like the Capricorn and Leo stories. All right, I will get to, I know you wait for Geminis also. I will get to Gemini and Scorpio and Aries and Ophiuchus still. We're going to get to those first, and then we'll go to Members Corner later today. All right, guys, lots of love. Thank you guys again for being so amazing. And like I said, just know that each week I will be going live on each channel at some point in time and doing card pulls for like half hour, 40 minutes, whatever I can manage. It'll be at random, but just FYI, we'll do that every week for the next 2 months. So thank you guys so much. It's just the way I can say thank you and happy holidays. And I figure that way it gives everybody a little bit more comfort zone and leeway and opportunity to maybe get a little card pull here or there at different times. So hopefully that makes it really accessible. Lots of love, you guys. Bye for now. Annie has a message from the hieroglyphs. Well, then that would be the message that we have to interpret. Ooh, Annie, we should at least do a bonus message on that, okay? I'll do a bonus message on that. Oh, Hamida Beno, you angel. Thank you so much. If I'm ever in New York City, you better believe it. You better believe it. You're so amazing. Thank you, babe. That is the nicest thing ever. All right, you guys.